Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 fastest growing cities in the US. Tech jobs are in flux, tourism is at an all-time high, and the population across major US cities is shifting. We all love to live in a place where we can get all facilities at our doorsteps. Aren't we? We check the local transportation, economic growth, hospitality, weather, job facilities, and many more. We always look for a place where we can live a healthy life. Thus, we always check the growth rate of a particular area. If you're planning to move to the U.S., then you may be wondering about the fastest growing cities in the U.S. That's why we've made a list based on the data provided by United Census Bureau in recent years. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 fastest growing cities in the U.S. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 fastest growing cities in the U.S. Number 10 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Roseville, California. Roseville is part of the Sacramento metro area of Northern California and a dream destination for shoppers. The Westfield Galleria at Roseville is home to several luxury retailers and is one of several major shopping centers in the city. Roseville rounds out our top 10 fastest growing cities, with a population increase of 2.3% and a total of 151,901 residents. The Sacramento metro area awarded 29% more single-unit building permits in 2021 than the previous year, for a total of 9,390. Roseville's employment rates increased 7.2% in 2021. Roseville's population is 151,901 citizens, a 2.3% increase from 2020. Number 9 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Palm Bay, Florida. Palm Bay is the perfect place to grow for residents who enjoy hiking, boating, and other outdoor activities along the central Florida coast. There's no shortage of family fun with 29 parks, including space for paintball, skateboarding, golf, and more. Despite Palm Bay's growing engineering and technology industries, the city's employment rates increased just 5% in 2021. Still, the population grew to 122,944 and the city continues to invest in residential housing. The population grew 2.3% to 122,944 citizens in 2021. Residential building permits increased 34%. The metropolitan GDP increased 1.2% in 2020, ranking 34th among our top cities. Number 8 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Madera, California. Madera is the largest city in the identically named Madera County of Central California. The county includes parts of the Sierra National Forest and Yosemite National Park in its borders west of Madera City. The city ranked 5th for residential building permits with a 46% increase in 2021, and ranked 30th or higher for all other study metrics. Madera's population increased 2.1% to 67,944 residents in 2021. The city's metropolitan area GDP grew 1.3% in 2020. Madera ranked 30th in our study for employment rate growth at 6.2%. Number 7 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Edinburgh, Texas. Edinburgh is a southern Texas city in the heart of the Rio Grande Valley and just north of the U.S. Mexico border. The city's a growing hub for healthcare and home to the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Its location near the border makes it an ideal spot for economic growth, and the city's GDP increased 1.7% in 2020, 18th in our study. The population passed 100,000 in 2020 and continued to grow 2.4% to 102,483 in 2021. Single-unit residential building permits increased 39% to 4,844 in the McAllen-Edinburgh metro area. The metropolitan employment rates increased 5.9% in 2021. Edinburgh's population increased 2.4% to 102,483 in 2021. Number 6 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Daytona Beach, Florida. Daytona Beach has long been a coastal destination for tourists, offering beautiful beaches on Florida's east coast and welcoming motorsports enthusiasts each February for the Daytona 500 race. The city's population is booming, with a 3.6% increase in 2021, as more Americans decide the beach is something they want in their daily lives. Residential building permits in the metro area, which include Daytona, Florida, also increased 38% to keep up with incoming residents. Daytona Beach has a population of 74,437, a 3.6% increase from 2020. The city's metropolitan GDP fell just shy of the top 25, ranking 26th, with a 1.3% increase. Single-unit residential building permits increased 38% to 6,753 permits in 2021. Number 5 on the list of fastest-growing cities in the U.S. is Port St. Lucie, Florida. Port St. Lucie is nestled between Orlando and Miami along Florida's southeast treasure coast. Nature preserves and nearby beaches offer plenty of outdoor recreation space, while sports fans can enjoy the New York Mets' annual training camp each spring and gorgeous green golf courses year-round. This marks our fourth Florida city in the top 5, which real estate professional Bill Samuel of Blue Ladder Development attributes to great weather and tax benefits. A large portion of America's population is entering retirement, and these individuals typically prefer to move to areas with warmer climates and communities/amenities geared towards retirement, he says. In addition to warmer climates, retirees are focusing on states that lower income and property taxes. Port St. Lucie ranked 4th in population growth with a 5.2% increase. The city's also in the top 20% for residential building permits with a 34% increase for single-family units in 2021. Metropolitan GDP grew 1.3% between 2019 and 2020. Number 4 on the list of fastest-growing cities in the U.S. is New Braunfels, Texas. New Braunfels is located between Texas' capital city of Austin and San Antonio, right along I-35 in the beautiful Texas Hill Country. The city's known for its Hispanic and German heritages and kicks off each fall with the Wurstfest Sausage Festival. If we counted population growth alone, New Braunfels easily wins with an explosive 8.3% increase between 2020 and 2021. However, the city's metropolitan GDP growth was the lowest of our top 10 cities, with a 10% decrease in 2020. New Braunfels experienced the largest population growth in our study at 8.3%. The city ranked among the top 25 for new residential construction with a 32% increase in single-unit building permits. Employment rates rose 5.3% between August 2020 and 2021. Number 3 on the list of fastest-growing cities in the U.S. is Winter Haven, Florida. The chain of Lake City, just east of Tampa, may not have miles of beach access, but it does have over 50 lakes to enjoy. Families looking for a break from swimming and sunning at freshwater beaches are also just a 36-minute drive from Walt Disney World in Orlando. Recreation opportunities and affordable living are significant factors for families planning their next move, according to Gina Baker, real estate analyst with Fit Small Business, who says Florida, Texas, and North Carolina are among the most popular destinations for movers. These areas are not only in warm weather climates, but they allow for outdoor activities, a semi-metro environment, and more affordable living expenses and home prices than New York, New Jersey, or California. Winter Haven ranked 5th for overall population growth and 10th for residential building permits to account for the influx of new residents. The city's economically strong, too, with the 6th highest GDP growth of our city study. Winter Haven's population increased 4.2% to 52,710 residents in 2021. The metropolitan GDP increased 3.1% between 2019 and 2020. Single-unit residential housing permits increased 43% between 2020 and 2021. Number 2 on the list of fastest-growing cities in the U.S. is Northport, Florida. Up the western coast of Florida is the city of Northport in Sarasota County. The city is known for its natural springs, including Warm Mineral Springs Park, where the spring-fed pool maintains an 85 degrees Fahrenheit temperature year-round, and its abundance of rich minerals are celebrated for potential healing properties. Residents that prefer a saltwater dip don't have far to travel to reach the Gulf Coast, and the city encompasses many of Florida's other great qualities, too. Klaus Gonch is a Compass real estate advisor who's seen his fair share of interstate moves to the Sunshine State. Our year-round weather is a major magnet for both retirees and young professionals who now have more flexibility to work remotely, he says. Another major factor is our local tax environment with no state income tax. Northport ranked third in population growth with a 5.5% increase year over year. The city's GDP increased 1.3% between 2019 and 2020-26 in our study. Northport had the 10th highest employment increase in our study at 7.7%. Number 1 on the list of fastest growing cities in the U.S. is Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida. Prior to the devastation of Hurricane Ian, Fort Myers and Cape Coral was the fastest growing area in the country. In fact, Florida nearly swept the board of fastest growing cities, earning 6 of the top 10 spots and leading the pack with the Cape Coral, Fort Myers metropolitan area. These cities are located on a peninsula in southwest Florida, surrounded by coasts that attract tourists and new residents alike. Fort Myers ranks second overall for largest population growth, and Cape Coral wasn't far behind in 5th place. Both cities also ranked second for new residential building permits, indicating that the cities aren't expecting growth to slow anytime soon. Fort Myers experienced a 6.8% population increase between 2020 and 2021, while Cape Coral's population grew 4.2%. The Cape Coral-Fort Myers metro area approved 11,020 single-unit residential building permits in 2021, a whopping 61% increase from the previous year. The metropolitan area experienced an 8.4% employment increase between August 2020 and 2021. So, which is your favorite places among the top 10 fastest growing cities in the US? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 10 fastest growing cities in the US in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.